struggle in South Africa, which was a good thing because now we're fighting over positions. Who must be president? Who must be minister? We forgot the real struggle of our people. The land question. No one can have his or her mind liberated for as long as that person doesn't own. That's why during negotiations, part of what white people proposed, the leadership of white people proposed was that, okay, you want black people to vote. We may consider black people voting only those who have gone to school and who have property. Because they knew that a person who owns his mind or her mind is liberated. So ownership is at the center of the liberation of the mind. But how do you liberate the mind? You are in that process of liberating the mind. That's why you are here. At the center of this economic freedom is the liberation of the mind, and therefore quality education should be availed in order to sustain economic freedom. You are the liberators of our people. You ought to understand that your education is aiming at liberating the black majority. It's not yours. Don't be selfish. Don't allow their junk to make you think as an individual. You must think as one of those who belong to the oppressed. And therefore you are going to use your education to liberate society. Why would the lawyers like O.R. and Mandela abandon their career? They were doing well. Mandela was a fashionable lawyer. Everybody wanted to be represented by Madiba, the tall man. Now, why would he leave his law firm and go into the struggle to liberate the people? He knew that his education should be used to liberate the mind. Steve Biko did the same. Yes. Robert Sukuka did the same. You are here to accumulate knowledge and use that knowledge to liberate society. That's why the ANC and white capital do not like an educated society. That's why all those thinkers in the ANC, they are now marginalized, because they know that the thinking tanks will liberate the mind. Once people appreciate what the land can do for them, that is the day they are going to rise. Oh. They are still enjoying our land and the privileges that comes with land ownership because our people do not know the importance of the land. The day they are conscientized, the day they are educated, they will rise. So we say we must go out of these institutions into communities and educate them about the liberation of the mind. It is these communities which must now join the struggle for total economic emancipation of our people. Economic freedom is what will make us to enjoy a total freedom and peace. There is no reconciliation without the return of a stolen property. Here is a man who steals my cell phone. He puts that cell phone in his pocket. And I discover this man is the one who stole my cell phone. And I say to him, Chief, bring my phone. You stole my phone. He says, yes, I admit. I stole your phone, but I found a cover for it. You know, a cell phone cover. It now looks nice and all that. So you have to buy it from me. But in the meantime, because you don't have money to buy it back, let's reconcile. With my cell phone inside his pocket, let's reconcile. Reconciliation. If I shake your hand, you must know that I'm pretending. I'm still thinking about the better method of how I'm going to take my cell phone from you. Never think that my shaking of that hand is genuine. Anyone who says to white capital, we have reconciled, we are happy, that person is lying. We are boiling inside. We are very angry. We are very angry because you can see through them what land can do. There will never be a genuine reconciliation without justice. We first have to achieve justice. What is justice? Return the stolen property. Then we will be friends. Then we will be friends. You cannot remain in the possession of a stolen property and say we must reconcile. What makes us come together? In our African culture and Ubuntu, normally those who bring back what they mistakenly took from us, we give them some potion. Or okay, you brought back my 20 rand, it's fine, keep 5 rand. Oh. So we'll think for you, bring back, we'll see how we sort it. We are not greedy. We are not a greedy nation. There is no white man who's going to be driven to a sea yet. You are not going anywhere. We are going to miss you. We are so used to you. So we are not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. We have started dating each other. We are doing business together. We are going to churches together. So there is no way we are going to say you must leave. Those who want to leave, they will live on their own because they hate sharing. We must share the land and the wealth of South Africa. Because South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white. We don't say these things because we hate you. We normally tell the truth to people we love. Yeah. If we hated you, we would have misled you. Hey, you are so nice, you know what, very happy. Everything is fine. We're not happy, my friends. We're not happy at all. We are asking for the return of the land and the resources that comes with the land peaceful. At least for now. We are asking for the return of the land and the resources peaceful. You must not say we have not won. There's going to be an unled revolution in South Africa. Our people are going to lead themselves. An unled revolution is anarchy. And anarchy is the highest form of disorder. The highest form of lawlessness. You don't need that. At least now the revolution is being led. We can still guide our masses. You see them turning against foreigners. You see them turning against government buildings and government. It is so because they do not know the real enemy. Oh. Once these liberators go to them and educate them and tell them who is the real enemy, they will turn against you. The day we politicize them and conscientize them that well and good, this government must go, but beyond this government, there is an elephant in the room called white monopoly capital, which needs to be You are happy, you are analyzing every time you call in 702. Yeah. The people are so tired with corruption of this government, you know. You are enjoying, you think that your turn will not come. They are going to march and remove this government and remain in the same condition and start asking questions. But we have now removed government. What's wrong? And the liberators of the mind will be there to say, the big elephant in them. You can change government after government. If you have not changed the patterns of ownership of property, our people will remain poorer. We ought to change the patterns of ownership. And there is no any other progressive method except nationalization. I can tell you now, we have to nationalize the land and then reapply for the use of the land. If you want that land for settlement, apply for settlement. You want it for agricultural purpose, apply for agricultural purpose. And if we do that one by one, especially those who claim that this land belongs to them, they bought it and all that, we say, come and reapply for the use of that land. It's yours. Yes, come. Let's see, bring the papers. Where are the papers that confirm that you are owning this land? Majority of the land in the hands of many of these people who claim that they are land owners do not have the necessary papers. Many of them actually, if you go and check the so-called title deeds, they date back to the 1990s when they realized that a black rule was inevitable. They started sharing the land amongst themselves, including taking state properties, including transferring money into outside South Africa. Most of their title deeds are not as old as more than 1990 coming this week. Because that time it was clear a black man is going to rule. That's when they started literally stealing of our properties. Oh. So we ought to nationalize, including your house. But you go back and say, I want the reissuing of this land because I'm using it as my residential area. It gets reissued because every piece of land, government must have a clear understanding of how is that land used, what purpose, by who. The remaining land, after reallocation of the land to individual ownership and reproduction of food and all those things, the remaining land must only be allocated to those who are going to use it for public purpose and public interest. If you want a farm, you want to farm for agricultural purpose, how many people are you going to employ? What are you going to produce? If it's clear it's going to benefit our people, let's allocate it to you. Not only the land, we must give you tractors, the seeds, and the money to start working on that land. We can use agriculture alone to reduce unemployment in South Africa. Brazil has done that. The Lula moment, part of why it is so celebrated is because of the interventions that were made in the agriculture. Agriculture in South Africa has been reduced significantly. We're eating 60% of the food from outside South Africa. We can't even feed ourselves. We're being fed from outside South Africa. That thing is a serious threat because those who are feeding us, the day we fight with them, they will withdraw their food and will go hungry. But when you own the land, you are not threatened anyhow, whether they withdraw.